Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
This is your host, Omobola Stephen, online world of Omobola Stephen. Now, if you're looking forward to a really disruptive mindset conversations that is going to disrupt your mindset and move you closer to where you really want to be. Now, this is the show you would like to listen to with incredible expert professionals who share incredible insights on this show. Today, it gives me great pleasure to have Wendy Nash, who is the meditation coach for entrepreneurs. Now, Wendy will be talking much about spirituality, incorporating spirituality into our business, especially for entrepreneurs. It's a great pleasure to have you, Wendy, on this show. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Omobola. Thank you very much for having me. It's really lovely to be here. And I also want to say thank you very much to everybody in the community who is part of this. So our listener who maybe just downloaded another show and listened to this one, every contribution, big or small, is part of it. So any podcast that our listener listens to, or you or me listen to, or people who work in the tech, all of that is part of this larger perspective. It's not like you and me come together and we're just isolated thing. You've had guests before. I've had other interviews with hosts. So this is one in many parts of everything. It's part of a large system. So that's the first thing I like to do. And the second one is to say that I'm in Australia and I'm calling from Gubbi Gubbi country. So this is tradition in Australia to acknowledge that I am on this land, and the people here have been caring for the land for 70,000 years. And they've been observing all the relationships, how everything comes together, and how humans are one part of a really large system. And I know it's really important for you to think about the environment. So, it's not until we know where we have come from, we've really understood all our bits and pieces, what are all the players in our lives, to where we are now. And then with that together, we can go, all right, so this is where I want to go to. And that's now I have a good sense of where I am and where I'm going. So I just like to start with that.
Wendy, for that beautiful introduction. Now, talking about environment. Now, the environment is really comfortable and conducive for the entrepreneurship now. I'd like to ask this question from you. What are some of the biggest sources of stress for entrepreneurs like?
Yeah, so it sort of depends. Everybody is different. So some people might have not much to do, not much money, and they might be really stressed about getting clients and income. Somebody might be having a main full-time job and then having a company on the side and then trying to build it and and then just have family, huge level of demands. So a lot of push and pull on one direction, and then the other people, not really that much at all. And some people might really want to do, but not have a good people around them who are really supportive. So it's really, really different. Our listener is going to kind of connect with maybe one of those things. And sometimes we don't even know what we're going to do. We know we want to do something, but we don't know what we're going to do. So the biggest part is really understanding our own mind. It's when we know where we have come from. So that's why I like to start with that Aboriginal acknowledgement of land, because when we know where we have come from, it really sets a tone for, and we're aware of the environment, we're aware of where we are now, and sitting quietly with our mind, aware of everything that is part of this, really contributes to the very large picture of what we want to do, but we don't always know that. And so what I'd like to do is to really reflect on, what am I not seeing about this? So I find that question a really good one, and it is a kind of meditation question, but you don't have to sit on a cushion. you might, if you're Christian from a spiritual perspective or Muslim, you might pray and just simply bring to mind the problem and go, what am I not seeing about this? And little by little, those problems resolve because we start to go, actually, I know what I'm not seeing. This is my blind spot. And now I know I've got a good direction about where I want to go. So that's, I hope I answered your question.
Right. Now, talking about direction on which to go. Now, we want to talk about how incorporated spirituality can help entrepreneurs to succeed and thrive in their business. So I'd like us to talk about meditation, which is also a form of spirituality. How can it help entrepreneurs in making good decisions? Do you have any insight?
So I mean, certainly teachings. So are you Christian? What is your tradition?
Just go ahead.
Okay, all right. So some people find the Bible really useful. So I was speaking with a gentleman this morning, and he recites a verse from Jeremiah. He finds it really, really useful. And so he finds that really good. And we were talking about it and unpacking that. And it turns out that sort of texts which encourage you to be moral, ethical, kind, softly spoken, thoughtful, treating people with respect. These are really good things that are part of spirituality. They're really important parts for us to frame how we want to live our life according to our values. And so that part is really important. But I think in Christianity, there is prayer, and Islam, there is prayer. And in Buddhism, you sit on a cushion often and meditate and contemplate either ways to be kind, ways to seek more joy, ways to be more compassionate, or just try and calm the mind. Any of those opportunities to be still, to be quiet, to have a chance to take a break are all really important and just super useful as an entrepreneur.
Right. So basically, what is the simplest way that can improve one's mind aside meditation?
Really, the simplest one is to drink 2 liters of water a day. That's actually the simplest way of doing it. You just get 4 mugs on your desk. Mugs, my mug's 250 mils. I put that on my desk in front of me, and I drink 4 of those in the morning, and I repeat after lunch, and that's 2 liters. That is the simplest. It's not meditation, but it is the simplest. If you wanted to do meditation, then you can just notice what is agitating in your mind or uncomfortable, and just become aware of it and become curious of it and try not to engage with it and react to it.
Right. Now, Wendy, I'd like us to quickly run through the critical issues that entrepreneurs are facing in this modern age. And what are some self-healthcare tips that you can help by, if you have any insights that you can share in this regard?
Any websites to share in that regard, or ideas?
I'd like us to talk about some of the critical issues that entrepreneurs are facing in this modern age. And if you have some helpful tips, self-care tips that you can provide to help them.
Okay, so I think the main thing is really noticing when you're tired. That's a really important one. I think people don't realize how tired they are. And I think it sometimes can be really difficult to know how to connect, particularly with and build rapport with clients, customers. If you're selling a product, what you really want to do is listen well. And a really good way to do that is to ask the question, what does this person care about? And when we ask that question, what does this person care about? That really gives us a capacity to listen at a really different and unique way. It's a very lovely way of connecting, and it stops the isolation. So I think isolation is a really big problem for entrepreneurs. They feel very alone in what they're doing. If they go in with a co-founder, then they get often conflict. That's a really big problem. And it's one of the main reasons why companies fall over is due to people just not getting on anymore. So getting good people around you to support you, not only your family, but also who can you rely on to give you good information. And these are things, and then you've got the financial constraints, you've got time constraints, a lot of uncertainty, and we don't know how to do everything. So we don't know how to do finance, legal, we don't know how to do business maybe. We're really good at the product. I know lots about meditation, but it's taking me a long time to get the hang of marketing and sales and internet and web design and everything else that's around it. There's a lot of stuff to know. So in terms of self-care, I think it's really important to listen to your own voice, recognize when you're tired, recognize when maybe this person sounds really charming, but actually they're a bit of a con artist. So I think these things are really stressful, and I think exercise is very important. So just see if you can get some exercise every day and laugh. See funny movies. That's really good. Get her out with friends. That's really important. Connect, laugh, definitely.
Right. Thank you once again, Wendy Nash, for your insight on today's show. Wendy, how can they free themselves from their mind? Is it possible?
Well, if I took away your mind, would you be free? So I guess what I'm asking with that question is, we are our mind. We are our mind. The problem isn't that we have a mind. The problem is that we are unfamiliar with what's going on in the mind. And it's when we're kind of caught in a reaction. You know, someone says something to you and you're like, I'm really riled up. I'm really angry. It's very hard to kind of find a peaceful way of coming out of that, of responding with wisdom. We just get super caught in that and then we're lost. And I think that's the problem with not knowing the mind. Our emotions are there, but we don't know what our reactions are, and we can get really confused and make bad decisions.
Absolutely. Any projects you'd like to share with my audience, if you have?
Well, I have a passion project, if I may. So you're really into the environment. My big thing is to get people out of cars and in alternative forms of transport. So you've lived in London for a while, and they've got really good tube transport and buses and bicycle paths. I think more bicycle paths now than they used to. Then I would love to do that here. So I'm really about changing the world from the human experience, from humans walking around, getting around easily, safely, and doing that without a car.
Awesome. Wish you best of luck in the project, Wendy. Any parting words you'd like to share with my audience?
Just, I guess, things may seem really difficult, and they are, but just take it one moment after another. Tomorrow is another day, and it will be what it will be. And that's just the nature of it. And if you have any questions about meditation, I'm particularly focused on loving kindness meditation. My website is kindlycutthecrap.com, and you can just email me and I can send a PDF of 5 meditations that you can just do on the go. Won't take any time out of your day. And in fact, there's one on there, might even save you a couple of hours a week.
Awesome. That's good to know, Wendy. Thank you once again for your insight on today's show and also for your time. I wish you best of luck in all your future endeavors and your project.
Thanks so much, Omobola. It's been lovely to be here.
Lovely to have you around once again, Wendy. Now, if you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the show, you can do so on any cross-promotion platforms you bump into or any podcast distribution platforms you get into online and do have a one-hour time listen to the show. Perhaps you'd like to be a guest, sharing disruptive mindset conversation, any topics and subjects on the personal development and self-improvement. You can send a mail to me at omobolastv.o@outlook.com. Perhaps you'd like to know more about me and what I've been up to. You can check me up on my website, www.omobolastv.online. I'll be looking forward to connecting with you. Come on, we can have a great show together and be the change that the world is waiting for. Till I come your way, I need you to stay safe and be good. Without my love, I talk to you soon. Nice.
Thanks, Omobola.